Not at all. Good morning, everybody. How we doing?
Good morning, Todd.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, those of you joining online as well. It's pretty awesome, especially our Arizona folks that typed in. That's great. That is great. That's great. We'll get started here on Coffee Talk. I do just want to say something like real quick for housekeeping. I know it's a popular event, but not half, but a good chunk of you online were actually registered to be live. So if you're gonna do it from home, maybe unregister so the people that wanted to come get their coffee and donuts could. We're actually very open right now. So you could even unlog and come on over here and get some coffee and donut. There's lots of seats available too, if you want to join that. Those of you in Arizona will probably be finished before you get here. We wanted to try that. We'll try. So by all means, just as much as the people sitting out in front of me that you cannot see, please, those of you online, if you have questions along the way, just go ahead and ask them. They can hear you too. It's on the speaker, so they'll know what the question is. And if they can't, I'll repeat it for you. But this will be our new thing. So those, you can spread the word on this. You're already here, so you have it. But if you ever need to like find information again, these coffee talks will be recorded. And then I'll put the recording as a link on MTL in the news post. So you can go back, or anybody that wasn't able to attend in person or even live online can go back and see the event. So get any information that we discussed or questions that were asked and answered along the way. So that will be there as well. Cool. Excellent. Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
There's some big stuff. Thank you. Thank you. We have some big stuff that we flipped already in the new year, right? What's maybe the biggest one?
Yeah.
That's right. We opened the fitness room. Barb, Carol, those of you really excited about it, the fitness room is officially opened. Thank you to the community. We did over 70 orientations in that first 5 days that we did orientation. So great job, you guys, getting signed up on the orientations. I will probably start posting one orientation a week with a much smaller sign up because we don't want to fill that room up with 12 people like we did while people are currently working out. But then if you can't do that either, and those of you out of town, as you know, maybe a week before you start to come back, just reach out to me and I'll schedule an orientation with you one-on-one as well. So make sure everybody has an opportunity to get that done so you can start using that fitness room. How many of you have used it already? 2. Do you guys, it's cute. Isn't it cute that you're already proving my point? Those of you that hadn't done orientation yet, the question comes up, are we going to have signups to use the gym? You know, I said, no, we're just going to we're going to keep the door open so you don't feel like you're stuck at a time you have to come in. And if we run into the issue of it being too full, then we'll revisit maybe having to sign up. And I said in seriousness, but wanting to be proven wrong, that more than 80% of the people attending the orientations will see me, you come in once or twice or not at all, and never use your fitness room again. And they scoffed and gave me funny looks. And some people that do use the gym go, yep, we see it all the time. But yeah, so we've been open for 3 days now, and 2 of the 15 people in the room. Anybody online use the gym yet?
I saw Stephanie there. He's shaming.
Oh yeah, no other people. It's not a shame. It's just, it is a reality. Things are exciting and they're new. You know, coming from the fitness industry, I've worked in gyms that are 60,000 square feet down to gyms the size of a garage, right? And you see the big fancy ones. They call it in the fitness industry, they call it wasted space, and it's called building a basketball court. It is the most loss square footage in any fitness facility adding a basketball court, but it sells memberships, but then nobody uses it. So you have all this space that you're paying for in your square footage, and then the amount of usage too. So, I mean, I see it. We have these things. If fitness were a way of life, we would all be as fit as we could be right now, and all the gyms would be full all the time. There'd probably be more gyms and stuff. And I get it. And I will say it again, prove me wrong. I'm use the heck out of that gym to the point where I'm going to request a build out in a second garage if we need to, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't suspect it's going to be overcrowded for most of you, even as it gets warmer out and you get used to it. So Yeah, 72 people, and I think 5 people, maybe 6 have used the fitness facility so far of the orientations. Yes.
Studies will be dedicated to the fitness.
I do not have square footage numbers. Great question, but I don't. But it, I mean, if you even look at the conceptual drawings, just the gym space looks like at least 3 times the size of that. That's not counting the fitness classroom or the recovery room. So all the things that are jammed into your little space, all that recovery equipment, the checkup will be in one separate room. You have a classroom, will have some mixed equipment in that, and then you'll have your big weight room. So
you're gonna add in some more orientation.
yes, or again, just reach out. I'm happy to schedule. I have a couple of people that reach out to me, and I'm meeting 3 of them on Monday at 1, just that way. Because I could post a time and all of a sudden it doesn't work in your schedule again, right? So if you're even worried about that, just reach out to me and I'll take to you on an individual basis if I need to. Okay. Yeah. I'm really excited to get you guys all in. And again, if you did the group one and it overwhelmed you and you want something a little more in depth to ask some questions personally, ask that too. Realize there's a lot of you and a lot of things going on. So it doesn't mean I can do it tomorrow, but we will get you on the schedule and I will be happy to take care of you. Okay. Yes.
Some other members that went to orientation, but they came in, they looked at the machines and they went, oops, they forgot. So I'm glad you can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it was so much information given in 90 minutes. Some of the orientations took almost 2 hours. If 10% of it sunk in, high five, good job. That's great. And I'm happy to share that 90% with you again. And that goes for you guys online too, to do that. So I'm really excited about that. And then updates to the fitness room. I still have not been emailed by them, but they're telling me the last couple pieces of equipment will be delivered between the 10th and the 14th of February. And that will be included. And some of you will have questions. It'll be all new stuff. It's tech. It's not like just a dumbbells coming, right? We're getting the rack with the big Vizio screen on it. We're getting the checkup. So that's much more tech involved. And those of you, I unintentionally fibbed to you. I told you the truth when we were in the room that you did not need the app for anything. That is true. Currently the way the room is, but I found out when the checkup comes, if you're really interested in using that awesome piece of technology, you do need to have the app because you have to be able to log into it so it tracks your checkup. So, but that will be the only thing. If you're not interested in finding out how old you are, then you don't need the technology. You can still use the classes and the Vizio screen and everything like that. Okay. Awesome. So what was some of the favorite things so far? This is our last event in January. What were some of the top things in January? What did you enjoy? Happy hour, right? We went to Doxa, which is in Buckley, which is an amazing place, guys. So it actually started as a CrossFit gym 13 years ago. The couple who own it actually live in the building the CrossFit gym is in. And then just over 2 years ago, they also built a section of the building into a restaurant. So it's pretty cool. We had the space to ourselves, but then all the CrossFitters were coming through the farm, right? And that was kind of cool and all that. And they were so professional. They were really a pleasure to work with. And I know a few of you talked to them and they offer line dancing classes. She reached out again and you already told me, which thank you very much. But then she followed up and said, I talked to some of the members and told them we had line dancing classes here and they were really excited. And she gave me the contact info. So I will look at maybe scheduling a line dancing class in the very near future that you guys can go over at Doxa and do that. So that was really cool.
Oh, I was good.
Mohai. So we took a fabulous day trip to Seattle yesterday. 3 modes of transportation again. We used the Sounder train, and then we went onto the light rail, and then we went to the tram to get all the way down to South Lake Union and visit the Museum of History and Industry. Those of you that are born and raised in Washington go, I remember when I was a kid, but it's not even that. It was in a whole different part of Seattle, and this is the brand new one. It was spectacular. So if you're not from here and you want to learn all about the Seattle area and the history and the massive, how many of you were blown away that went on like what has been invented in Seattle? Yeah. Right? So many people came to me and I didn't know that. I didn't know Amazon was started in Seattle, right? I didn't know that outdoor research was started in Seattle. A lot of things came out of Seattle. So it was a really fun trip. We had a great lunch. And then took the train back. And I would like to announce 16 people went. And of 16 people, 12 of you already have an Orchid card. That's the highest Orca card usage we've had, and that you don't have to have an Orca card, but the fact that you're learning to use the transportation and then take advantage of that is going to unleash the possibilities to do all your own stuff in Seattle without worrying about driving traffic, parking, all that kind of chaos. So that was really exciting. So pretty cool. And I do know some of you are just too young to take advantage of the full Orca, and I know that's the only reason you don't have it yet. So that was fabulous. Anything else in January? The cooking demo, you like the cooking demo? How many of you enjoy the cooking demos and me cooking for you? You guys online? You guys enjoy it? If some of you haven't taken some yet, I understand that. And I know they're hard. So yeah, they were pretty tasty. I'm still eating meat pie at the house, just so you guys know, I love meat pie, which is not a problem. They're good, right? Here's another cool thing I'm working on with Seven Summits Lodge, because culinary classes seem to be very popular. I'm working with Paula and the Mantle to see if we can get the Mantle cooks to teach another class as well. So you wouldn't have it here. You would go down to the Mantle and have a culinary class with some of the chefs from the Mantle team as well. Does that sound cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that mean you just want me to stop doing them? You sure?
No,
So, well, 'cause
no.
the limitations of the culinary. So this is recorded so they can hear me say this, but you know, Paula and Sarah are very much in the know about the hours we work in the build-up communities. I'm not fatigued. I'm not tired. I love what I do. And they're like, well, if we do that, you can take a month off culinary. I was like, but I don't want to. I love doing culinary. I said, we'll leave it to the people. If they would rather do them over there, that's fine. I'll step away from it. But I thought about it as having maybe 2 cooking demos in a month. So some of you that, it doesn't mean you can't do both of them, by the way, but it will open, usually Mantle demos can take a few more people. They have a larger demo area. So it will open up a few more spots for that as well. So that's going to hopefully be coming down the pipeline, maybe like March or April as we do that as well. Okay. So cool. I'm really glad you like the client. I do enjoy sharing that side of my passions as well. Yes.
She's baking Scottish pies today for dinner.
Scottish pies tomorrow. Kimmy reached out to me. She's making Scottish pies this weekend as too. And she wants to share them with her neighbors apparently. So if you haven't, maybe she'll make 6 instead of 4 or 8. Just knock on the door. Maybe Helene will make you some. Oh, that's too bad. That's crazy. It was like I was gone all day in Seattle. With you. Yeah. So really good. And then, yes.
That's people coming to
Mhm.
this area. 2 a month should be plenty for the culinary things to sign up for. So if you can't get into one, you can get into the other.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, no, it doesn't, just because like you signed up for one at the Mantle doesn't mean you're not allowed to sign up for one that Todd does, right? So there's not a limit. If it's the same cooking demo, then yes, we would ask you, please don't come back to eat more meat pies that someone else did. That's right. That being said, for culinary demos, I have gotten some and I'm still taking some. Our culinary demo, and we'll go over the full calendar in March, that will be St. Patrick's Day themed. It's going to be a couple days right before St. Patrick's Day. So if you have maybe some requests of things you might like to learn from the Emerald Isle, send them my way and I'll tally the votes just like movie night. And maybe we'll do that. I will tell you, if you want your quick history lesson though, corned beef and cabbage is not from the Emerald Isle. It's not. It is Irish, but it's Irish American. It did not come into play until the Irish emigrated over here from the island and then started making, over there you would get what they call bacon and cabbage, which is ham. They call it bacon and cabbage, but it would be more like what you have as ham and cabbage. So very, very similar dish. They just don't use corned beef. You guys know how many times I've been to Ireland? I have never once found corned beef ever. It's just not there. They don't do it. So I would like to at least keep it as a demo of actual Irish heritage food, not so much Irish American, not to insult the Irish American heritage, because I love corned beef and cabbage. Love it. I can't wait till it goes on sale before, and I usually buy like 10 and put them in my freezer, and then I make them all the time. So it's great. Excellent. Any questions on the February? So February events have been posted. Is there any questions about February events? Trilogy Loves Chocolate Week is in February. That's what's coming. We actually have a really cool week of chocolate events. You filled up the registration for the chocolate party on the 15th. I opened up more spots just so everybody's aware. The big events, the big giant events we do once a month, I put just a mystical number in there. If we fill it, I just open up more spots. At this point in time, there's not going to be like, you can't come to those events. Everybody can come. Do I still want you to register? Yes, please. Registering for events allows me to order and have the right amount of product I need. If we have, some kind of a beer, wine, or cocktail vendor, if we have a food truck, they do require me to give them a window of number. So I'd hate to have, say we have 100 people for a food truck and then 120 show up and I never had 120 register. I want you there. But honestly, the food truck might run out of food before everybody can get fed then.
So does that mean that if you're waitlisted for an item that you open in a spot, you'll automatically get an email saying you've been added?
Yes. Unless I open those spots the day of you, but yes. But I wouldn't do that to you on the event. Yeah.
You know what? Love the food truck that we have for the wellness event.
Yeah, Eternal Soul Balls. And they're great, guys. They are right down in Sumner. They're actually close to the train station. They're on Main Street. And they have quite a large, extensive menu. So we got to enjoy the acai bowls. They were delicious, but they also do smoothies and other really healthy treats down there. So not that we won't have them back. They were phenomenal to work with. The people who came were just super pleasant. But if you really enjoy that, it's in Sumner. Yeah, we walked within 50 feet of it yesterday. At the head of the group, I kind of pointed to some of the people where it would be if you had gotten to enjoy it that day. And I'll give you the address if you'd like it. So they're a wonderful company. Like I said, they were great to work with. So, yeah, it's very popular. Yeah, everybody likes their healthy yum yums. They were good. That acai was really cold though. I was sitting on that front porch in the cold and I was like, ooh, that's a cold bowl. It was delicious though. Peanut butter drizzle on it. No arguments there. So we're rolling up. Just to kind of highlight that party event, we do have live music again. We'll have Alex Britton is back to perform for you as a solo artist. We have the Craft Cocktail Company coming and they're doing chocolate themed cocktails during the event. They'll have, I think, 3 different cocktails that you can have. They'll also be non-alcoholic beverages as well. So don't worry about that. We have a crepe food truck and they're doing sweet crepes. So berries and chocolates and stuff like that. So you can get a crepe while you're there as well. And then those of you that have been in the community for at least a year, last February, we did a chocolate 101 class where we learned bean to bar, where chocolate came from, how chocolate was made. We sampled chocolate from around the world. And that was done by Tabal Chocolate out of Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. And Matt came out here and did that. Matt's coming back, not to teach chocolate 101, to let you just gorge out on chocolate. So he'll be inside the event with a big display of Tabal chocolate that you guys will be able to come up, ask questions, learn all about chocolate, eat a bunch more chocolate. I mean, I want you to leave like, anybody ever see the Adam Sandler movie when they're talking about they say a bad thing and what's that mean? And he's like, oh, it's ice cream. And she says, I want to be chocolate wasted. Little girl, like, I want you guys to be chocolate wasted at the end of the event. It should be exciting. Should be lots of chocolate opportunities for you at that. So that's really good. And then as we get into talking about March, the February events were the last events that were a hard post on the 15th of January. Moving forward, events will start to trickle onto your calendar randomly. Not random because it is random because as I just post or we get near to closing out what that event is and I get it typed up and headered and everything, I can then just go ahead and post it, which means every day you'll want to check your MTL. Well, how many notice that there may or may not be March events posted already? There is a couple March events. So that was the first. They're ones that are very, like the walks I already posted. Those are open. All of you could come walk with 200 people. That's fine by me, right? I did post our new volunteer event. I will open up that to plenty more. If we overbook volunteering, I would not leave you out of wanting to come to help clean up the area. Like I said, the larger group we get, maybe we can get out on a Cascadia and do some of the cleanup there, not just in our neighborhood, but down beautiful Cascadia as well. Yes, Hannah. I am not going to send out a blast email, not at all. So the way we can look at that. Good morning. How you doing? What can I do for you? Painting? What are you painting? You can come in and paint. We have an event, but by all means, you can come in and paint. As long as it's not right here, but you know, you definitely can come in. Okay. They're painting. So the way to, please understand, I'm about to at least audibly tell you, as I progress on using Teams more, I'm pretty sure I can make a meeting room that you guys will be able to be invited into where I can share my screen. So I can do things like pull up MTL and literally click you through MTL. Right now, I don't have that capability. So I will audibly teach you. And then if that doesn't work, obviously we'll get together and I'll show you. But if you are on your MTL and you go to your events tab, that by default shows you 1 week of events. And we do know we can click over to the full month, but where it says events, right next to that's a tab that says my events. If you click my events, that's events you have registered for, or at least click the interested option on it. Interested doesn't register you. It's a way to pull it out of the big calendar and put it in a spot for you to remember. And you may be checking your calendar or talking to a friend to see if you're able to do it, right? But then it's right there for you and you don't have to go searching for what date it was again. But it doesn't mean you register, but it does pull it into my events, okay? So I've already registered or I clicked interested will be in your my events column. Yes, Beth?
The events that you only have so many, does it say how many reserved and how many open?
Yes. Inside the event, you'll see the amount and how many have already been taken. Yep. So, and then there's one more tab, and that tab says new events. So when I post an event for March, it's going to automatically show up in new events, and it will stay there from the moment I post it for 72 hours, 3 days. Okay? So instead of having to sift through to see if anything was posted, all you have to do is click on new events and anything that's happened in the last 72 hours will be right there. If you go on vacation for a week and come back, you might miss some of those new events. They might have already gone through the 3-day period and you will need to go look at your calendar. But if you're checking even every 3 days, you will see any new events that happen to come up. And that should be the case actually. For the events I just posted, should still be showing up on new events because I think I did those 2 days ago. So they should be on that new events tab at least until that 3-day clock burned out. So that is a great way. Yes, Barb.
A quick question. I think I have the answer, but so there's not going to be a specific time anymore, right? You're not going to do it at noon. It could be any time.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Correct. So,
Okay.
so at the end of the year, you guys are going to have constant opportunities. I always want to know, and Blue Star always wants to know how we're doing. Are we doing things well? Are there things that you would like to be done better? And there was a lot of feedback from the community that they were frustrated by events being posted on a specific day and time, whether it was because we have a large working population or people had appointments and they just couldn't be there. And by the time they did click on that day and time, nothing was left. So this is, things are going to go out there. I'm not going to be whispering into any member's ear, you better go run to your computer, I'm about to post. I'm just going to post stuff. No one's going to have any heads up over anybody else. And even though, like I said, it was known it was going to be on the 15th at noon, it just was difficult for people to get there. So we'll try this approach. And if that ends up being better for the majority, that's great. And then if it's not, you'll tell me in the survey again that you really don't like it, and we'll work to see what we can do to make things better. Okay. But yeah, so for now, you will start to see March events, and even with this kind of prep, I can start posting April events and May events. As I lock things down, I might start to post them early. I might. We do still have a thing where a lot of people are jumping on early, and then by the time we get to the event, we have like a mass exodus of registrations. So I don't know if it's too long of a period that you get excited to sign up for it, but then life kind of gets in the way. So maybe I shrink the time in between the event so that you kind of have a better grasping of your calendar and feel like you can make that event better. I'm not sure. We will see. We'll experiment with what works and what we can get out there. All right. Cool. Any questions about postings? About getting things posted that way, not about upcoming things, because we're about to share that. All right. So who wants to hear about March? Yeah. So those early ones, the walks got posted already, and then an MTL 101 class got posted. So again, if you feel like I kind of think I know what I'm doing on MTL, but you're not sure, come take MTL 101 class with me. It's really, I go over the whole interface of MTL and what all the tabs do and what information you can either get or give on your own MTL. It will become a pretty big part of your community, especially the fuller we get and when we have the clubhouse. So if you still think you have a learning curve or you have no concept of having your MTL, take the MTL 101 class. You can take it as many times as you want. It's no different than fitness orientation. I tend to give a lot of information and that might not all stick and you want to come back and learn how to do something again. If you can't make the MTL 101 class, I can schedule a time to meet with you as well. So don't feel like if you lost that, you lost out on it. It just, again, we will figure out a time that our schedules can meet and we will get that information to you as well. Right.
This is Sherry.
Yes. Yes.
I'm putting on MTL to look for the forms to fill out for the gym, and I can't find it. Could you say real quickly where it might be?
Yeah. So if
the liability forms.
If I'm on MTL and I'm on my main home screen, if I go to community,
Okay.
and when you see community, it'll be a drop down with 3 options: info, resort club, HOA, and Blue Star. You want to click on resort club.
Okay.
And when you get to resort club, you're going to scroll down and you'll see 3 tabs: overview, staff, and documents. If you click on documents and scroll down, you'll see membership information. Open that up and there's going to be 4 PDFs followed by a star that says new member enrollment forms. The new member enrollment forms are your waivers you need to fill out. These are a standard waiver that have to be filled out for the clubhouse. You're filling it out early because we have a new fitness room and it covers your liability and all that on that. Once you have filled it out, you do not need to refill anything out for your clubhouse. Our glorious day that when it comes, when it's announced and we can grand open those doors, those of you that already done this, you're done. Okay. So, it's the same new member form and that's why it's in the club resort, tab, which might seem kind of confusing because we don't have that yet, but it's the same liability form. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Yes, Joe.
The clubhouse, is it gonna be fully managed by Blue Star?
Fully managed by Blue Star. Yes. All right, continuing into March. This isn't posted yet because I'd like some more input. It's going to be game night. But February's trivia game night, and we alternate trivia with another game. Now, games we have played so far that are not trivia are bingo. Bingo is always very popular. We have done Pictionary. Pictionary is great. Tends to not have as many spots available because it's a 2-team game. And then if you try to put 10 people on each team, it takes a long time to get through everybody. Not that if you're fine with that, I'm okay with that too. It's not a deal breaker. We've done charades, which was fun, but it took some of you, a little bit to get used to standing up. I feel like we need to have a clubhouse and happy hour for you guys to really get into charades. But if you can think of any other group games that would be fun to play with your neighbors, send them my way. Otherwise, I'll probably choose one of the ones I already have set up for, but I would love to have new ones.
Can we do card games?
In what way? Like what kind of card game?
Like euchre or bridge or something like that?
Maybe.
Too many tables and things like that.
Well, like we do game night in here. So it kind of gets spaced out. This setup right now is identical to game night. I usually have 2 tables and then the other areas and kind of when we do teams, they break up that way. We did charades. We did them in the front of the room and we broke up around and that's it of things. So we don't really have a big room where we can set up a bunch of card tables yet. When we have a clubhouse, we will, and that'll be really cool. So just keep that in mind, but the 5th will be game night. The 6th is our neighborhood cleanup, which is really exciting. Let's take a peek here. Neighborhood cleanup. Some of you have already seen. And 11 people have already registered.
The ski group, that's a trip up to Canada, so we won't be.
We won't clean your front lawn then. Sorry. Yeah, we absolutely will clean your front lawn, Sam. We would love to. Absolutely. Perfect. Then our snowshoe trip will be Friday the 7th. I'm moving snowshoeing to Fridays because there's a lot of great snowshoeing up in the Paradise area, but with changes that just keep happening in Washington that I haven't been ready for because I've lived here my whole life and they've never had these changes. Paradise, the road up, which has always been cleared and open, now is not open Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and the ranger told me most of the time on Thursdays, even though it's listed to be open on Thursday. So because it limits where we can go, I've moved it from Wednesdays and Thursdays to a Friday so we can go up to Paradise because they're guaranteed to be open on Fridays. There's a lot of great snowshoe trails, especially flat ones, because I know the majority of the group right now is really getting into it and like a flatter snowshoeing trail, right? Even though we crushed the harder one, didn't we, Jim? You did. You absolutely did. What's that? You do not have to have equipment for that. You do need to let me know because I will go and we rent equipment for people who do not have equipment. Yeah, great question. Anybody know what March 8th is? Does any ladies know what March 8th is? Does any ladies remember last year, right around March, something we did? Just the ladies.
Oh.
It was, we went out to high tea because it was International Women's Day. So March 8th is a Saturday. It's International Women's Day again. I reached out to Farm 12 and specifically Fika, their coffee house, which is a women's owned business. And they actually support and hire women in need. So they support a really great cause. So the women, gentlemen, the women are invited in the afternoon for hot beverages and pastries from Fika. We'll have we'll have a larger gathering than the tea we did last year. I think we'll have 20 to 24 spots for you ladies to come and celebrate International Women's Day. Spread the word. Did you know there's a color for International Women's Day? It is purple. Okay, so if you feel like it, please dress up in purple to celebrate International Women's Day, and we'll have an afternoon. It'll be about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll go down to Fika and have a really good time down there. Okay, so that's International Women's Day, March 8th. And this was, again, you guys, I love it when you guys tell me things or show me things in the area. This was a Kimmy thing. I know she's organized her own groups to go to like Pino's Palette, but we're going to go to Pino's Palette on Sunday, March 9th for Monet inspired wildflowers. It's a painting class. It's in the afternoon. It's 12 to 2:30. So that's coming up. The 9th. The 11th will be movie night. Movie nights have really picked up. It's been a lot of fun. I moved the table and I just set out like theater streaming style seats so everybody can fit in and we enjoy it. Thank you, Dan and Kathy. I got that. I will check that out. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Thank you. Well, both Kathys. Kathys have dominated the neighborhood, by the way.
Is there a theme for that movie night yet?
There is not. So if you would like to send one, I'm glad to. Or if anybody's really interested, I did think, because it'll be done right after, if anybody would like to maybe watch one of the Best Picture Oscar nominated movies, we could vote on one of those as well. I know it's kind of hot right now out there with those. Because there's a lot of movies most people I've never even heard of. If you looked over the list of movies, I went through that. My son is very into movies, and he's watching them all, and we talk about them. And I had to look up more than half to even find out what the heck they were. But all interesting nonetheless. And then the 13th is a Thursday, and that will be our culinary demo by me, and it will be Irish inspired. Like I said, I've already had some great ideas, but if you guys give me more, we can go by popular vote. The 15th, you guys know I love Ireland, and everybody thinks we do tend to Americanize holidays a lot, but St. Patrick's Day is a very, very big deal in Ireland. If you've ever got to be over there for St. Patrick's Day, big giant parades, children things, shamrocks everywhere, and not so much a drinking festival like we treat it here. It's a big, St. Patrick's a big deal over in Ireland. It means a lot to the people over there. But we will have our St. Patrick's Day party. I do have an Irishman coming in. His stage name is That Irish Guy, to perform some traditional Irish music with you. We're gonna keep him tame, but if the crowd really gets into it, he has a bunch of body Irish songs he does as well. And if you ever want those, I'll tell you where he performs in Kent and stuff, and you can go listen to that stuff if you want as well. I told him he has to keep it tame. We're gonna have Gourmini's back. If you've been in the community for a while, we're here for our Gourmini's food truck. They made the beautiful salads and sandwiches. Again, an amazing staffed truck. Like they treated the community really well. So we thought we'd have them back for food that day as well. And then if everybody, just those that have been consistent to it, you guys remember the tap truck, Seattle that we had? He brought his old, like, I don't even, what was it? A GMC, some 58 Chevy panel truck, and he built the taps out the side and put an awning, and he served beers and ciders and wines out of it. It was really cool. Well, he also has a 70s VW bus that he's converted. So he's coming out to be our libation portion of the St. Patrick's Day party. He will have wine, he will have different beers, but he's setting up a tap just for Guinness. So he'll have Guinness on tap as well for St. Patrick's Day while we do that. So music, games, fun, food, and libations. That is Saturday the 15th. So our next two parties actually happen to fall on the 15th. They're both on a Saturday the 15th from 1 to 4. These are our partnered events with Shea. So these are the big events that the sales team really works on getting prospects in to come and mingle with you and come and see kind of the big style of the events we do and live in lifestyle here. And you guys have been phenomenal with mingling with them and making them feel really welcome. So this will be another just really big fun event for that. Yeah. Cool. Registration. St. Patrick's Day itself is a Monday. I am gonna host some kind of fun green yum in the model. You can just swing like National Ice Cream Day and National Donut Day and stuff. You guys will be able to pop by, and I don't know what it will be, green ice cream sandwiches or something green and fun for St. Patrick's Day. So that'll just be yes, it's a register event again. It'll be a really big, it's not that you have to stay. You can come on over here and grab your yum yums, talk to a couple people, take off again, and people just kind of cycle through for the day. It'll be a lot of fun. Then we have our Seattle trip. Is going to be Thursday the 20th. So that'll be our train trip to Seattle that we've been doing consistently. And that will be to the Museum of Pop Culture. Formerly known, that's lived here as the EMP, which was the Experience Music Project, but they have now switched it to the Museum of Pop Culture. That is on the Seattle Center grounds. It's the crazy building that's all different colors and rounded, and there's no right angles in it, which is a triple day. So we will take the train to the light rail to the monorail, and the monorail actually goes through the EMP. They built the EMP over the monorail track, so you actually go through it as well. So that will be the day there. And then we'll probably go over to the Seattle Center Food Court for a bite to eat after that.
How many spots are gonna be available for that?
Same amount of spots. As someone put yesterday, they said it, not me. Is it like herding cats? And I said, sometimes. It's usually just the size of the group. It's even just making sure those of them doing Seattle trips consistently, like you gotta kind of hustle. Like especially when you get to the light rails and the doors go, they open and they close and they're moving to the next spot, you know, and if we're a group of 24 and we're trying to shuffle everybody on and everything, and next thing it closes and then we're waiting for the next tram 15 minutes, it gets a little bit, you know, too big. So we're kind of keeping it in that 16-person range for Seattle trips. Yeah. You're muted if you're talking, Sherry. Are you talking to somebody else? Okay, cool. Then on the 26th, so I am really excited. You've been asking for it. I always wonder if you're serious, so I put it on. And in February, we're doing our field trip to Costco, business Costco down at Fife, and a ton of you have signed up for it. And I'm super excited. I love business Costco. It's so great. And because it isn't my number one favorite, my number one favorite is the giant Korean grocery store, H Mart. We are doing a field trip to H Mart. That'll be in Federal Way, that H Mart, and that is on Wednesday, the 26th. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's the February one.
Okay.
Business Costco in February. February is the 21st. Is it cool?
They have a lot of the same things,
Yes.
but they have a lot of different things.
That's what I'm talking about. And we all know they have giant full sheets of puff pastry there. Those that came to the meat pie demo, and none of those folded Petbridge Farm, never thaw out right ones, really awesome ones. They're great. So, field trip to H Mart, and those interested, if you want to, maybe if you've never had or you love like I do, maybe we can hit one of the Korean food spots there for lunch or something after we do the field trip. So then I'm very excited. I will always highlight when it's your idea. Heidi Schultes came to me and told me, did you know that there is a speakeasy in Enumclaw? And I went, what? There is a speakeasy called the Roaring Underground in Enumclaw, and I reached out to them, and they are super excited to host us for Happier Hour. So Happy Hour will be Thursday, the 27th at the speakeasy. How many of you have done a speakeasy? So, you know, these are usually hidden locations. Some people take them to levels. You walk through some kind of like fish warehouse to get to some back cabinet. It looks like it's a deep freeze. You open it and it's a super swanky cocktail bar, right? This is an underground speakeasy. You can't just walk into the underground speakeasies. There's always a password or something you must do to get in the door. I am all about fun, and I'm not going to make that easy on you. So don't think it's going to be some kind of cool Verterra password. Might be something fun, because we'll start the day with fun, but they're going to host us in their speakeasy. Roaring Underground. Roaring.
Weren't speakeasy started during the.
Prohibition. Yes, they were. So they were hidden places to get your booze when it was against the law to have the booze. They are very, very trendy now. Those that did I guess basically it was called the murder tour, the scary tour, during exploration week in downtown Tacoma. We started by doing a walkthrough of McMenamins, and though McMenamins has many bars, they also have a very hidden speakeasy that you have to go through a door that doesn't look like a door. You don't know it's there, and you walk down a hall. That's all. Yeah. And so they have a speakeasy. There's speakeasies around if you look up speakeasy in the area. But again, understand, you usually can't just walk into a speakeasy. There's some kind of trick or thing or whatnot. So research your speakeasies if you're going to do them on your own before you go, or you could be stuck at a door just staring there. I've had to do all kinds of weird dances and recite poetries, or have to know a password that you need to investigate it. It's crazy. A lot of times there'll be a camera on you with a TV to the people already in the speakeasy too. So they get to get entertained by you getting into the speakeasy. I've never been to the Roaring Underground. I don't know what they're going to do, but I do know that they do at least a password to get in. So it should be a lot of fun. Coffee Talk will be on the 28th. That's the last Friday of the month. So we will do that on there as well. And then some of you already saw it was an update, but it was an update starting in February. A lot of requests for more stretch. So I did, starting February, same day, I'm doing back-to-back stretch classes. So that doubles the amount of people that can come and take stretch. So there's a 10 o'clock hour and then an 11 o'clock hour for stretch. Why did I not space it out? Because if I spaced it out, the same people that take the spots already will take it again because they get to do a second day. I'm doing it the same day so new people can come and take the stretch class and you both can benefit it. And just like the chef, I had a great conversation with Sarah about we still have to work with Shay. Everything has to be approved, validated, but we are working to possibly get a fitness instructor and to maybe teach another class during the week, a different thing, and maybe even taking that to have a personal trainer on site. So people looking to hiring a trainer and want to use the fitness room with a trainer might be able to do that as well. There's a lot of work still to be done on it, but talks have started for that. Okay. Because they can't just come in. We would have to payroll them and all that has to be done. So it's something we started to talk about, and we can see if we can get something like that going for you guys as well. More opportunities.
Walking be on Monday now and forevermore.
I won't say forevermore, but for a while.
Then stretch will usually be on Tuesday.
For now. And I flipped those back in December. Because they were flipped. Part of it is also you might see me start to take some Mondays off. So if you look in the March calendar already at the walks, there's 1 week there isn't a walk posted because Todd's taking the day off. Thanks. So it happens to be the Monday after the Sunday event. So since I'm going to work a Sunday event, I'll take the Monday off, right? We have a Saturday event and a Sunday event, and then I'll take Monday off. So doing that, if I had stretched, then all of a sudden I don't want to cancel a registerable event. I love where our walks have gone. We're having anywhere from 5 to 8 people now. It was Jim and Ann and I for like 9 months. And now the community's got a lot bigger and you guys come out and Becky's been out and Joan and Leah come out, you join the walks and it's been a lot. Sam's walked with us sometimes. So, that's a really good thing. And I really enjoy that. You learn your area, you start to feel comfortable going around, you learn the new trails and everything. So I still want to do the walks, but I also just want to leave it open. I don't want to feel like you have to register and unregister for the walks.
Shine.
They are rain or shine. Jim and Ann and I have walked in the rain tons of times. You don't have to come and walk, but I'll be there. And don't feel bad if nobody shows up because it's too icky weather. Todd just goes to his office and works on his laptops and makes events for you guys and plans a whole bunch of stuff. It's okay. I will always be there for you to walk, but I will go rain, snow. It doesn't matter to me. I'm born and raised here. I've got all the equipment I need. I got teased yesterday because I wore a coat and Ann and Barbara were like, Todd, you're wearing an actual winter coat. Because apparently I'm always invest in the cold and all of that. But yeah, so we will always do the walks for now. Cool. All right. Yes, Deb.
I have a question. Talking about the weather and the upcoming possibility of snow and ice. If will any events be canceled or just who's ever hardy enough to get there gets there?
So like specifically, we're supposed to get snow tomorrow and people asked about the hockey event. The hockey event is on. If you feel like there's more snow than you are comfortable driving in, by all means, stay safe. You don't need to drive in it. All right. There's not a wait list for the hockey event. So you're not putting anybody out. If that happens right now, your safety comes first, but I'm not canceling hockey. If we get to the weather, so you guys know, like we don't have a clubhouse yet, but the other clubhouse runs on the school schedule. So if it snows and if the schools have a 2-hour delay, the lodge has a 2-hour delay. They will open the same time as the school opens because it's just roads are usually deemed clear and stuff like that. So that's the protection for the staff to get to work. Others can walk, but on that. And if if school's canceled because the weather's so bad, they usually would close the lodge because it's so bad. I'm not saying I'm gonna cancel, but it does dictate if the mini can get out of my neighborhood or not. They do a really good job of cleaning the main roads, but they don't necessarily clear my own neighborhood. So one time in 9 years, I couldn't get to work at the lodge because I literally couldn't get out of my own neighborhood. The mini was just on the roads, and I went, I guess I'm here, you know? And my wife comes first. She's got the 4-wheel drive, and the nurse taking care of them comes before Todd. So, great question, Deb. If the weather, we'll take it by what we end up getting, but I plan to execute as many events as possible. But if it gets to the point, I will communicate through canceling it on MTL and sending out a thing to people registered, possibly rescheduling it based on what the event is. Cool. And then, thank you, Dan, Kathy, for answering Laura's question. I was going to get to that one next, but yes, Speakeasy is on March 27th. One other thing coming. So has everybody seen and at least had the ability to take one of our trilogy calendars? So I put a stack there on the end for those in the room. You just saw me at the lifestyle conference. They flashed this, I don't know how many times. I'm like, who's that a picture of? I wonder what community that is. Yeah, we made the national cover. That is Steve and Tara Sachs out on one of our hikes this year. I was so excited that we made the cover as a brand new community of the calendar. You flip through, a lot of you are in here. I know Patty's in here, Ann's in here, Jim. A lot of people are in there. It's so much fun to flip through all the pictures and see the different communities listed. There's even pictures inside every letter of every month. But the great thing about this too is it does talk about the themes of every month. Like the theme of January was New Year, New You. So our wellness event was based around New Year. It was such a success. You can plan on having a wellness fair every January or New Year. I'm going to recreate that one. Matter of fact, I'm already planning a June fair for artists and artisans. So we'll do the same kind of thing in June, but we'll have a different style vendor. And then I'm looking at another one for like during the end of the holidays and doing a different kind of crafty one and stuff like that. So we'll maybe have like 2 or 3 different kinds of vendor fairs through it. But this will give you a lot of the national stuff happening. Not just on the MTL calendar, you know, here's Trilogy Loves Chocolate Week. It actually has the chocolate bar show and the Trilogy Loves Chocolate. Oh. In the back. There's actually 3 deer crossing the road over towards the sales center right now. So I'm sorry I can't share that with you, but they're there. It's pretty cute. I know, and some of you don't. I keep telling everybody. It took Jim a long time to believe me that black bears were here, and it took Tara Sachs on one of our exploration week walks in a trail here in the neighborhood to walk 30 feet from a bear right on the trail. She was in the lead and turned around to me, who was behind her, and was like, "Is that a bear?" And I was like, "Yes, it sure is." And he looked at us and he went, "Yeah, nuh-uh," and he took off and he was long gone. But
And they had elk just walk by the sales center just the other day. I
There you
didn't
go.
see it, but Rick saw it.
yes, Joe.
On that note, in the ruins of one of the fires down in California, they found a black bear underneath one of the houses that had burned down.
It saved itself.
He's still alive, yeah.
Perfect. That's great. The black bears aren't out right now. Don't worry about that. I'll give you the heads up again. So they usually aren't coming into the neighborhoods that have a lot of construction going on. But as things calm down, people on green belts, if you leave things like your hummingbird feeders or, you know, suet feeders out, that's what they like to do. They don't eat your dogs or cats. They eat the bird food and your vegetation that you have in your backyard. So they always recommend bringing that in at night. There's a lot of videos, people that have cameras in their backyards in Tahali post videos of the bears all the time. But you do need to be aware for your dogs and cats, small ones especially. There are bobcats, there are coyotes, there is, just seen again this year, a mountain lion, and there are large birds of prey. There's osprey and eagles that fly this area, so be aware if you have small pets. They are the animals that will take your small pets. So they are all here. There, I was just talking to Judy Johansson the other day. There was been constant sightings of coyotes right now in the area. So again, they don't bother you, but they will take one of your small pets if you don't have them on it, leaving them out at night, open the site or whatnot.
Right out.
Right? Yeah, who knows what that was. Excellent. So as we're finishing up here, we're right near 11 o'clock. I'd just like to open up the floor for any questions about anything. Whether I can answer it or not, you're allowed to ask it.
Top golf gonna come up again, that was fun.
That's great. So we do have our golf weeks will come up again. So that was actually one of our themed. It was Trilogy Loves Golf Week. And so we did Top Golf. So we can definitely revisit golf and other styles of golf too. If there's other ideas. Well, actually, that's perfect. Like management trust. So Glacier Point is your management, your HOA, right? That is the same management trust that runs your other trilogy, but that's called Whitman, right? But it's the same people. You're separated by your own. They've come out, I think, in emails. They posted it on your MTL. Anything to do with either your so Glacier Point is Verterra and only Verterra. Anything to deal with your Glacier Point HOA management is Verterra. Your Tahali HOA is all of the master plan. But any questions you have concerning the master plan, you can go through Glacier Point and they will take care of all your questions with that.
Why is it freezing?
You absolutely can get, because the Tahali master plan will send out their own events and own updates of things going on in the master plan. So you can definitely make sure you get a hold of those. I do know that Glacier Point does post that a lot on the MTL. If you ever go on the HOA tab, they are constantly posting things on there for you guys. So you can see those. They use them as news posts. So there's a lot of HOA updates out there and they will typically post. But if you're worried that you're not getting the Tahali, then you can sign up for those emails from Cohere. It doesn't. Zero.
Hey, Todd, we can't hear the questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. So she asked about Cohere, your new HOA management team that runs all of the Tahali master plan, and then the Glacier Point and what differentiation was. So Glacier Point is strictly the boundaries of Verterra and handle the slightly stricter HOA guidelines for your private community, and then Cohere is your new one. You can reach out to Cohere, but Glacier Point has already said that anything involving either they would be happy to handle for you. So you can send any and all HOA questioning to them, and they will work with Cohere for you, so you don't feel like you have to.
Thank you.
And then asked how that is in any correlation to Blue Star, and none. So Blue Star is a resort management company. We are 100% your clubhouse. Okay. So all rules, regs, and everything that Blue Star has pertains to clubhouse. It does contain to your fitness room because Blue Star is managing your fitness room and your lifestyle calendar, but eventually it's all clubhouse related. Nothing impacts. You are absolute dining members at the Mantle and will forever be dining members of the Mantle. Yeah, even when your clubhouse opens, you will be dining members of the Mantle. It'll be two different kind of styles of dining options. So you'll still enjoy the Mantle experience, and what I've been told is your experience in your clubhouse here, and their dining will be just slightly modified.
So just to be clear, the clubhouse is being built over there. It's not, we will not have access to.
Yeah, so this was a really good question. I've never gotten great follow-up on that, but last week I did finally get to ask some questions about that. And the big difference is, and I didn't even know this, I finally got to see even the financial breakdown. We are not, I say we as representing you, obviously I'm not a Verterra person, but we pay a very nominal fee to the Tahali HOA, to the Cohere. It's like like $25 or something, isn't it? 25, $30, which is dramatically different than what the Tahali people pay. So with the combined thing of you having your own private personal clubhouse and the fact that you're not paying full HOA dues, you are most likely will not have access to that clubhouse. It doesn't mean things might not change. Maybe there's a membership that they might, or you'll have access to their restaurants because they want to keep it. I don't know that yet, but what I do know is because you pay such a small part of the Tahali and that you already have a clubhouse, that they just walk in the front doors option is what they're saying you most likely not have. I don't know that that's locked set in stone.
Owns or manages that open property. Because that property, last New Year's night, they were firing off very large fireworks, like 20 feet from our homes.
So that's Brookfield owns that property and they'll be the ones building your clubhouse. Because Brookfield owns the master plan. So
They'll manage it, so they're not shooting off.
Hey, that's just kids doing it out wherever they have open space. I mean,
Once it's right.
yeah, you know, so once that gets occupied, they're not gonna go there. Yeah, they're just going wherever they can have open space.
yeah, I mean, always reach out. Like I said, so I understand the frustrations. Your HOAs though are your people. So reach out to your Glacier Point. Can you guys hear that? They were also concerned about fireworks in the area, especially within the Tahali clubhouse space and some of the open land over here, shooting off fireworks late at night. But you know, it's like it is up to them. So you would reach out to, and I know some of you did, by the way. I heard it on my Friday morning calls that there was reach outs, you know, and they do what they can. But the more they hear from you, right, the masses will get the direction going towards those things. But it is because it's not against the law right now to have fireworks. The people in Tahali spend some money, man. They spend some money.
They were building large bonfires too. And that was probably a problem.
That's where what you gotta do. What you gotta do, let the motorcycle guys around here. You just call the Pierce County Sheriff.
Yeah,
That's all you can do.
and I do want to say that it's not that I don't want to help, but it's like, you know, I've had people literally, they walk up to me during an event because someone's like going way over there with their dirt bike and say, do something. I actually cannot. I don't have control. Like if it is bothering you, we can call, you can call the police, you can call the fire department if it's, you know, something like that, report a fire in the area. But again, I am very limited into what I'm capable of doing for you within that Blue Star umbrella of the resort.
Just asking who has responsibility.
Yeah, no.
for shit and stuff like that.
Always, yeah. So Verterra land is your Glacier Point HOA. And to give you something, because these valid questions and concerns, like some people love the new Greenbelt walks, but wish they were lit at night. The Greenbelt walks are actually part of the master plan. So that is not Shea, nor is it Glacier Point. All the walks and lead-ins to trails are part of your master plan. So if you're concerned about litter on your trails or possible lighting, and if they can do something for you, reach out to Glacier Point to represent you if you want, or straight to Cohere. But that strong bond with Glacier Point, they really do. They've been, like I said, they've been the same people at Seven Summits. They're great to work with. They really will get to the answers for you.
Yeah, I called the HOA and told them about all these pet waste containers that were overflowing, and the next day they had them emptied.
Awesome. That's great. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Cars in the inner lane,
Okay.
and then they cut me off because I'm in the outer lane to come down to Verterra. Yes. Who do I mean, is that like a HOA problem or like?
Can I,
Yes, please.
so I'm the King County Sheriff
Oh, hello.
to the north,
Okay,
but you just have to be cautious
I am.
and just watch because the police, after the fact, the police.
There's concerns about driving in the roundabouts.
Right, and so I think people are confused about how to.
The signage needs to be changed is the problem, because if you're following the signage, it indicates you have to be in that middle lane to come down Cascadia. So who is in charge of?
Well, again, so somebody who's driven more roundabouts than you guys can possibly imagine, because that's a very European is becoming, you see the new ones being built right on 410. Like it's a way is that is the correct way to enter the roundabout. And what you're doing by taking the inside lane is you're allowing those other lanes to also start to merge in. If you always take the outside, you cut off both merge lanes being able to come in, and you're stopping instead of flowing with a yield of traffic, it stops traffic. So you'll notice that it's a solid line and then it's a dotted line, because you are supposed to be able to put your signal on and go over. If you're taking the outside lane all the way, you're technically in the wrong. You should be on the inside and then changing lanes to exit. Yeah. Well, and that's just it. We're not used to that, but that going around, if you feel like it, that is the safe option. It is. We're introducing something that works really well, but with no education for it. I mean, my kids went through driver's ed and they didn't teach roundabouts, and they just went through it a few years ago. So I get that, guys. So sorry, that's a little. It's valid, but that's a little off topic. There's not, your HOA can't control that. Those are county streets. You know, they're patrolled that way. So yeah, they're not private property streets.
And if
So great question. Susie's asking, is there any updates on the clubhouse? There unfortunately is not any new updates. I have a call next week with Mark Gray, your president of Shea, and I will see if anything's new. The last thing was it's still at blueprinting. They're waiting for the architectural master drawings to be done. So then those go to permitting. I do know that it was 3 to 6 months. It's possibly a little bit longer on permitting. Again, Shea has zero control over that, right? This is out of their hands. They hand it off and the state takes as much time as they need to do that. Once that, and I'm not joking because it happened when they finally did the add-ons and the pickleball courts here. The second those permits are done, they'll go. They'll literally go. They're making the call to who bidded and it's going, but I don't have anything new that it's still at blueprinting.
Out of curiosity, how many total homes is Shea committed to for building?
I believe Verterra is slated to be 483.
And how many have been occupied or built?
We are just over 100 homes occupied.
Good.
And you have a question? Oh, okay, cool. Any questions online?
Nope.
You know what, you Arizona folks, you make me very happy. It's great to see you guys. I'm excited when you guys stop enjoying your sunshine there and come back to us.
yeah.
But then, until then, yeah. So if anything comes up, please email me, call me, text me, come over to my office, and we'll take care of that stuff for you. I'm gonna log out. And
Thanks, Todd.
thanks, Todd. You're welcome, guys. Bye now.
Yep, thanks for doing it.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.